Matthew Bartel, and in the band play guitar. 2005, I was living with Mike Tan, an old member for the band, and I got the call from French, actually. French! I get this phone call, hello, is this Matt? Is this Matt? It's like, yeah, immediately. French! How are ya? And we're chatting and stuff like that, and he said, I play for Daren, Reid. You looking for a guitarist? Daren said, I'll just come down and check out the band, basically. So I sat there and chatted to a couple of his mates. Daren just comes out of nowhere and goes, so what are you playing? And you never say no. So I picked a couple of classics and got up and played. And Daren, in true fashion, then continued with the rest of the gig with me on stage, calling songs I've never played. Yeah, that was an experience. There's actually a lot, like, on and off stage. It truly is a family. Like, I would see the band more than I see most anybody, really. It's at the point where it's so comfortable between the players that everyone truly is herself. No one's trying to impress anybody or act any differently. If you've had a bad day, you've had a bad day, you know. And you go on stage and you switch into that mode and you do your gig. So having genuine friends, and I'd go as far to say family, is amazing and definitely a highlight of the band. So music's in the family. My mum was a pianist and flute player. She studied at the Conservatorium of South Australia. My dad claims to have perfect pitch. If you sing him a note, he says he can sing it back. My sister is a musicologist. Her husband is the head of music at UWA. There's a lot of music in the family. My other sister sings beautifully. My older sister, Kate, you just sort of model yourself on your older siblings, and she was quite cool, and I'm not. But and she had a lot of friends who were into music, and they'd rehearse at the house, and she'd play Led Zeppelin and Master of Puppets. I remember making breakfast and she'd open these sliding doors and go, Master! Master! Fell in love with it. I remember the day I figured out how to work the CD player, and that all my favourite songs was actually one album, Led Zeppelin 2. I thought it was just a series of different bands. So I thought, I have to do this. I study in my spare time. So I'm doing psychology. Hope to become a psychologist, a clinical psychologist, and incorporate music into psychology. There's a bit of evidence there, and I think you probably know anecdotally that music is quite a powerful force. So it's just learning to introduce that to help people, and as well being a clinical psychologist in the traditional sense. So we're in Leeming playing the Policeman's Ball, and we'd had a couple drinks, listened to some tunes, and had a bit of fun. And Daren, don't know if people know, he likes his kung fu, and so he's doing his thing, and he's chatting to Mike, and Mike's been doing a bit of UFC type stuff. Yeah, they thought maybe they'd test their mettle on each other and just kind of see how this goes. Now, I should kind of put some context to this. This is 5 a.m. in the morning, so gig's been over for a good 5 hours, and they start going at it, and sun's coming up. So they're dancing around between caravans, wildly throwing their arms and dancing, and starts out kind of gentle, and Daren gets a little lucky and gets a little excited and clocks Mike in the eye, and Mike then wraps up Daren and they go to ground and very quickly kind of call it off like, I'm hurt, and Mike gets up, and it's like with every beat of his heart you can see this just getting bigger. It was actually amazing. We need to put some cold applications, some frosty sustenance to Mike's face, and because it did get a little raucous, there were a few people looking through their caravan windows, and they're looking out and they're just watching, you know, our keyboard player and our singer fight in the middle of a caravan park at 5 a.m. in the morning. I was able to knock on one of the caravan doors, and there was a fisherman who had just come back, and he had a lot of snapper that he had put straight into a deep freeze, and so he gave us a fish. So we then had an entire snapper to put or apply to Michael's face, as Daren apologised but didn't apologise. It was like, well, you shouldn't have been that close, I'm sorry I hit you, that kind of thing. We ran into one of Daren's cousins who saw Mike and without hearing a word said, "Did you have a Reedy moment?" I mean, he treats me like gold. We're thick friends. Like, he's very, very, very good friend. Full of energy. I think anyone can see that. Quite considerate and caring, I'd actually say. Yeah, he's actually got a lot of love. Love you.